What's up, everybody? Surprise, it's Friday, but we're bringing you Comic Conversation. This is a truncated, abbreviated version of the weekly show, so we're calling it episode 70.1. We'll be going through this fairly quickly today. Also, it'll be just Justin and myself, so surprise. But we already have, even though it is a random, sort of random show, random meaning the time, some people in the chat, so I want to give those people a shout out first. But I want to let you know we are going to be giving our Black Panther domestic opening weekend predictions tonight. It came on tracking this week, so I want to talk about that, as well as we're going to be reviewing a couple books that we read. So let us know your thoughts if you're watching this afterwards. We always do record the predictions and then talk about them once that numbers up in official, as well as what you thought of the books that we're going to be talking about. And I will tell you, the books are Raven, Daughter of Darkness, as well as Legion #1. So a couple books we'll be talking about. You can tell by Justin's face there that he may not be too thrilled with what he read, but we'll be getting to that. We'll be getting to that. And also, if you want to take us on the go, don't forget to look for us on iTunes, on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, anywhere you stream your favorite podcasts. So this will be up later this weekend if you want to just audio version of it. But we do add the visual component. So if you are listening to us through the streaming, come over and check us out on YouTube. Typically, it's every Thursday night. Look for Comic Conversation or search JLS Comics on YouTube, and you'll find us. Links will be down below, though, of course. So shout outs. We got to shout out Comically Flawed, surprise show. He must think he thinks that we think, that's confusing. He thinks that we think that you guys don't have anything to do tonight, so you got a show to watch.
Right. It's Friday.
It's funny and true. Yeah. So first person to join us though was NES Master. He was asking how we are. Redbeard's here with us as well. Stay Puff 1983. Billy Superman, he had a really good Q&A over on his channel yesterday. A lot of good stuff there that he chatted about. I haven't done one of those myself. I've kind of toyed with the idea, but I haven't taken that plunge yet. I don't know if I can do this by myself.
What was that?
Q and J.
Oh yeah, Jay did. Yeah, Jay knocks those out like once a month, man.
Man, he's good at those. I just feel like if I did one, nobody would show up, and I'd be like, "Well, I have no cues to A."
I mean, it's just a live show.
So
I mean, basically, that's what Sunday morning comics becomes. Is just like me reading the comments. You know,
true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe I'll take the plug.
If you click the live button, people will come.
Okay. All right. So cool. All right. So we got Jason Smith, Caddy King Comics here. Jason Smith again. All right. Cool. So everybody's there. Right on. All right. So we got our topics in the description. I'm sure you guys have read those if you're waiting for us. One thing that we do not have is something that you can see on the screen right now. And the internet is up in arms about this. It's very polarizing. You either love it or you hate it, or you just don't know the history about why it's green. This is Brie Larson. Yep.
So yes, tell us why the internet is up in arms. I've not heard anyone upset about this. What's going on?
Okay. Well, everyone says, "Hey, why is it green and black? That's not Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers' uniform is red and blue and gold. So why'd they pick green?" But those folks don't know about the Kree. They don't know about Ultimate Captain Marvel, and the whole history there. And that was something that was definitely green. Just look it up and you can see Captain Marvel, green.
Yeah.
Or do Ultimate Captain Marvel, right? Any variation on that, and you will find a green Captain Marvel.
I mean, like if you look at her suit right now, what's on the screen? If you replace everything that is black with like white, silverish tint, then that's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And give her a helmet.
Yeah, give her a helmet. Like,
so my thing is,
I think that's even a cool throwback is like, current or recently current Captain Marvel, when she goes full helmet, when the helmet comes on, then she's got the mohawk, which is kind of like the fin that Captain Marvel had. So
that's true. Yeah, it's a call out to that, right?
Right.
So my thing is this: she's like, fighter pilot or whatever. She's flying. She gets, taken to, Kree world, gets her powers. She comes back with this suit. And this is kind of like her like proto suit. This is the suit that she gets on her way back before she gets like the Carol Danversy suit, the one that other people like. So I like it. And I think it will make sense in the movie why it's this. Right. But if you are confused about it, just look up Ultimate Captain Marvel and read up on that, and you'll understand where the green comes from in that decision. And Jason said the car in the background is a hella throwback. And yes, sir, it is. This movie is set in the 90s. I know that's probably like a late 80s. I don't know what it is. That's a big boat is what it is.
Yeah, that's an 80s model like Lincoln.
Yeah, late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big land yacht.
That's right.
But I mean, I don't get why people are upset just because of the colors. Like if you're upset about the colors of this uniform that she's wearing right here, then you're just showing your ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know. If you're upset about this, you don't know what you're talking about. So shut up.
Yeah. Silence.
She looks good, man. I think she looks great here.
Yeah. And there are some other shots of other angles of her. I mean, she looks good from all the angles I've seen.
Word. Man, I'm excited. Like this shot, man, I'm excited about this movie, man. I think it's weird that they're doing it like setting her back in the 90s and then she's going to be lost choice, or something for a while. I don't know. But
interesting choice. It'll be interesting to see Nick Fury with both of his eyes.
Exactly. It's probably just Samuel L. Jackson saying that he doesn't have to wear the eye patch all the time or something.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be crazy if it was like, if the reason was like, yeah, that eye patch is CGI. We don't want to do a CGI eye patch anymore.
Right, he's like, they like real, and he's like, man, that thing is just super itchy. I need a movie without it.
Yeah. It'd be funny too if it was like on a different eye every movie.
Well, yeah, that'd be funny. If it's switched,
Yeah.
People are just always confused. Like, is that really you, or is that a life model decoy that's opposite you? I'm weird.
That's right. Is this the mirror universe? Wait, wrong franchise.
Oh, sensitivity to light. Okay, done.
Yeah. And then let's see. Philly said the fan Photoshop image looks better though. And yeah, somebody did do the same image, but put in the blue and the red and the gold around like the area there. So since we're talking about these, somebody mentioned it earlier. Did you hear? There's another uniform, another suit that the internet was kind of up in arms about, but more chuckling about. I don't know if you heard about the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I saw that image.
You did? Okay. I did not put that image in my mind until people started mentioning it.
It's just the image of him and her standing there in their uniforms, right? Yeah.
Right, but they're just saying that the breastplate and the armored ab plating, if you flip it upside down, it looks phallic.
Of hers?
Yes, I'm trying to find an image now. I should have got it.
Have they ever looked at any Wasp or Fairy or whatever outfit ever? They all look like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I did not see it. To me, it was just armored plating. Okay, let me. I got the image. Okay. So can I? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So we're gonna screen share a different one. Over here, I'm gonna do this.
Doing?
Boom.
What's going on, Rags?
Okay. So here is the suit.
Yeah.
See it? Okay. Now look at the middle area.
I understand.
Yeah. So that's what people are talking about.
But if you flip it right side up, does it not look like an insect's face?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Right? So
but that's what
whatever.
People see.
But you can see things in anything. Yeah. That's the human mind, man. We find patterns that suit our needs.
It's called matrixing, right?
Right?
Yeah.
But no, I
But
mean, I don't care. I thought people were up in arms about the color, like it wasn't bright
this?
enough. Like they wanted like the kind of like dark brown gold there to be like a bright gold yellow, you know?
Yeah, I know. I know. So my first thought was, wow, y'all have too much time on your hands, you know. But yeah, to me, even though like that's pointed out to me, I still like this. To me, it's a tactical look to me, not like a penile look.
Right. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. That
So.
would not have been where my mind went first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys like go to that first? You know, like, isn't. Anyways, so that was the two kind of big things that people have been talking about in the past week or so that we didn't have on the list. So here I am. Hi. So let me just tell you guys the reason why we didn't have a show yesterday. I really was not feeling well at all. I resting when I got home from work. Really thought that, me getting some rest would have done some good and we'd be able to do the show. And I just felt like crap, like pretty much all yesterday. And it's stuff that kind of comes and goes, which really sucks. Migraines and things like that. Just, I don't want to get too much into it, but that's why we had to push the show off from yesterday. So, didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So we're doing it today. So if anyone was wondering why the show was off yesterday, there you go. All right, cool. So let's get into the topics. We're going to cruise through this here. We're already about a good 20 minutes in. Gotham City Sirens is basically a dead movie now. That was one that was a lot of people looking towards as one of the movies as after the restructuring, after Aquaman, that they were going to be doing. Margot Robbie was saying that she was working on multiple movies, and that was one that people were speculating would be part of that threesome of movies. And then people were, buying the books, of course. Beautiful cover art there. If you haven't seen those, the Gilliam March covers, amazing stuff. But it's not happening. What she's going to be working on is Suicide Squad 2. That's going to be going into production in 2019. Birds of Prey, they're moving forward with that movie. And they already have somebody writing the script for it. It's Christina Hodson, who also wrote the Bumblebee script, one of the Transformers spin-off movie.
Oh, wow.
And then the third one is going to be Joker versus Harley.
Nice.
So those are your three. If you're looking for like the Harley movies that are going to be coming out, like, post Aquaman, post let's figure out what we're doing with the DCEU, those are three movies that you're going to be getting there. So any take on those, or you looking forward to those?
I see that it is more of a delay than like a complete and utter like cancellation. Mm-hmm. Like I still think at some point this movie will be made, or we'll get something of this group, something Gotham City Sirens type.
Yeah.
Thing. Like even if we had a Batman movie that was like Batman Gotham City Sirens and it was about like Harley and Poison Ivy and them just like taking over Gotham or something, something weird like that. Like I think we're still going to get some incarnation of it.
Yeah. It kind of feels like if they did those like Birds of Prey and that together, it would kind of be a little bit duplicating each other, kind of like overlap with the concept.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
so
it would be good.
It does make sense what you're saying to push at least one of them off.
Mm-hmm.
Give one of them room to breathe. And maybe if they do like phases, for example, like let's call that phase 3. Well, phase 2, they'll do it later on,
Yeah.
They go that route. So there you go. So next thing we got for you guys is there's been talk about, I guess for a while now, but apparently there was a rumor going around that the trailer for Star Wars Solo, a Star Wars story, was going to drop. And they were talking about Wednesday. Didn't happen, right? So my thing is it's got to come out, right? But they can kind of drop it anytime. So I'm thinking they're going to drop it during Black Panther. I think that'll be a good time for them to have it come out. Everyone's going to be going to see that movie. We're going to be talking about that in a minute, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
A great time to release that trailer. And it's kind of like getting up to that last minute time frame where it has to be something big for them, something Disney, and something sort of within that realm of fandom. So what do you think?
Yeah, no, that would be the perfect timing. It is very strange that we haven't seen anything of that movie yet.
Right.
What we're 4 months away from it, basically, at this point.
Mhm.
and we've seen zero.
Right, exactly.
That's insane for this day and age. It's insane.
Yeah. Usually by now they're pretty heavily into the marketing campaign for whatever it is.
Right. We're like
whatever movie.
they're number 2 or something like that of it, by this point. But
speaking of weird marketing campaigns, did you see the marketing campaign for the Son of Dundee?
Yeah. No, I saw the preview, like the little 30-second preview or something.
Yeah, so there was a little clip for it. There's a website and stuff, but nothing, like no news, no casting, no anything until that. And everyone thought that was kind of weird. And I did too. My first instinct was, this is fake. This is like something, I don't know if I believe. Like it just suddenly appeared, and then they said it's coming out in June of this year. So I'm like, really? Like I as you know, I pay pretty close attention to the casting and all the production developments for various movies. I would have heard something about it somewhere along the line, and there was nothing there. Even if it was a casting thing, I would have heard about, so and so, or these people are reading for this role or whatever, but nothing. Turns out it is for the Australia Tourism Bureau. It's part of a marketing ad campaign for an ad for the Super Bowl. So
nice.
Yeah, so all of that just part of one of the Super Bowl things. So
yeah, I saw that little trailer and I was like, you can't be serious.
Exactly.
I thought it was going to be probably a funny movie. So
yeah, they even got Paul Hogan involved. Like named his company. He has like a production company in Australia that was part of the original movies, and they got them involved and stuff in it. So I don't know. Nice. They really went all out for that.
That's pretty cool
gimmick, let's call it. Yeah. So cool. All right. So since we're talking about Star Wars a minute ago, there is another person, Reed Morano, who is in talks to direct one of the upcoming Star Wars movies. That won't be Rian Johnson, maybe. Like taking over for him or JJ, but it will probably be one of the anthology movies, one of the one-off ones. I don't know which one, but this, if you don't know Reed, he did Handmaid's Tale, which was a really well done, critically acclaimed show. Right. Did you see it? Did you see Handmaid's Tale?
I saw a few. It was what was it on?
It was on
was it HBO or something?
No, it was on one of the streaming platforms.
I want to say I saw the first couple episodes of it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, based on a book too. So there's that. We'll hopefully be hearing more about that and down the road. Next up, we got for you. Are you familiar with The Witcher?
The game, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Netflix is adapting that to film. The script for it is complete, which is awesome. So that's moving forward. I got really high hopes for that. Freaking awesome. The whole concept of it, stories, everything. I like it. And the thing about it, it's perfect for Netflix strategically, creatively. It's going to be coming out basically right after Game of Thrones ends. So all of those fans, all those people looking for their Game of Thrones fix, they're going to need something. And this might be just the thing that all those people turn to. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty huge thing. If you are a speculator, this might be a time to go get any type of, reading material around it before it gets pricey. I think there was a comic.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know, probably IDW or something like that. One of the, people, the licensing type of companies like Dynamite, IDW.
Yeah, it seems like it would have been IDW, but I'm not 100%. But I know they do like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Right, exactly. They're kind of their bread and butter is licensing stuff to make it a book. So it's going to be Lauren Hissrich, who's both writing it and producing it, and she said that the books are the actual source material, but the games also will have a huge influence. So she's pulling from both of those. But I guess I don't know. So that's what she said. Is anybody in the chat familiar or not familiar with it? I guess I can do this synopsis here that I pulled up here. Just in case anyone's listening and you're not familiar with The Witcher, it is a fantasy type story. It follows Geralt of Riva. He's a mutated monster hunting witcher who becomes a father figure and caregiver to Ciri, who's a child of destiny, and the child's fate is entwined with Geralt's destiny. So that's the basic premise for it. But it's pretty badass. So go play the games, go read up on it, and yeah, wait for us to tell you more about the Netflix movie when it comes out. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing we got for you is Action Comics 1000. That's coming up very soon, folks. Right?
Yeah.
We're just a couple issues away.
Issues away. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So 2 months.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So there's going to be the floppy for it, and then there's going to be a hardcover. It is $29.99, 384-page hardcover. Actually, let me back up first. The actual the floppy version of it, it's going to have 10 different covers.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of variants for it.
Also in the regular floppy, a $6 book. I think that's what I've heard.
$5.99 for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and they got like pretty much everybody for it.
Yeah.
And it looks like each of the covers is going to pay homage to a different decade of action or of Superman. So it's going to be like Lieber Mayho, Joshua Middleton's doing a cover, Steranko's doing a cover, a bunch of big names for it. And then you have like the huge names writing for it as well. There's going to be a bunch of short stories. So they're pulling a bunch of stories from various issues throughout the years. And then one of the things that I thought was really fascinating, and it is up on Comic Book. I wrote an article recently about it. Marv Wolfman, and I'm going to tie that to our review in a second. But Marv Wolfman, when he was younger, he was just a fan. He wasn't writing anything yet, and he took a tour of the DC offices when they were still in New York City. You know, with his family, whatever, they used to do like, tours and stuff. Pretty cool. And they would give out, pieces of like work in progress, art, stories, things that they were just otherwise going to throw away. And he ended up with a 12-page story from Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster of Superman that was never released. It was something that they were going to toss. And he kept it all these years. And it's pretty amazing that it got into the hands of Marv Wolfman, who went on to be a pretty prolific, writer. The list goes on and on about how many people he invented. One of my favorites, Black Cat. She's great. But he did a lot with, DC characters. So when I guess they got word about, they asked him if he would contribute it to the 1000th issue, and he said yes.
Nice.
So I think part of the deal, it wasn't just him saying, "Hey, let me just give you this." He wrote this. It's a 12-parter that just came out. So I think part of the deal was, sure, I'll give you this to publish, but give me a book to write and pay me for it. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know that. I just the timing there. He gives it, the news comes out, and then boom, Marv Wolfman book, right? So I'll be talking about that in a second. But the other part of it is red trunks are returning, classic Superman look. So for a while, it's just been blue down.
Right.
He's had the trunks, but I think they've just been like blue trunks, right?
Yeah,
so,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, what's your take on Action? You going for the hardcover with all of that material? Or are you going to pick up one of the multiple $6 floppies? Same to you guys in the chat. Which ones are you going for?
That's a tough one. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably actually wait until that day. But
yeah.
I'm not opposed to picking up the hardcover just because it's something that's so significant.
Right.
Whatever. I'm gonna buy both. I'm not even gonna joke around. I'll probably get both.
There you go. Spoken like a true collector. I like it.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And he says he's going hardcover. Yeah. I'll probably end up with both myself. I really want to read that untold story, or unread by most people story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, hearing that, man, I really want it. That's something that's really cool to check out. So,
yeah, absolutely, and it's pretty amazing. Now, I wouldn't buy this expecting it to be like some great valued book, in the near future.
yeah,
the print run on this is going to be massive. All eyes are on this. It's not going to be one of those like, whoops, like Supergirl 12, I think it was, with the Archer cover. Like that just flew under most people's radar. And then once like 13 or 14 came out and everyone's like, oh shit, these are awesome. Everyone had to scramble and go back and get it. That's not the case with this. Even they got all these big names on it. Everybody's looking and waiting for this. So massive print run. Everyone's getting it. Just get this to put in your PC. Read and put it in your PC. So there you go. They'll probably comically floods. They'll make so many it won't be worth the paper it's printed on. I bet you later in the year. So shops are going to order pretty heavily on this, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
So later in the year, if you guys go to your cons, I'm sure you're going to find some of these in the dollar bins. But don't let that discourage you from buying it on the day of release. So there you go. And my question to you in the chat or later on, leave me a comment. Are you happy or with the red trunks coming back, or do you like the current look that he's been having with the blue?
I mean, I think with Rebirth, it's about time we saw the red trunks back. And I'm fine with it. Like, it doesn't one way or the other, it's still Superman, but the red trunks is going to be cool. Yeah. It's like Batman. Sometimes he needs a different outfit, so he can change up every once in a while. It's no big deal.
That's right. Yep. Oh, and there'll be a blank. So you could take it to your con and go to Artist Alley and get a sweet cover on there.
Oh, there's going to be a blank. Nice.
Yeah. So that's good. I love my blank covers. Love getting the commissions done. Got bit by the bug recently for that. So, all right, cool. Okay, this is cool. Even though Wonder Woman was snubbed, kind of disappointing. Would have been cool to have that happen, but it didn't. But Logan was nominated for an Academy Award. It's Best Adapted Screenplay. And it's only the second superhero genre movie to do it. And it's funny that it came out basically 10 years after The Dark Knight. Now this was only one. Dark Knight had 8 and it won 2 of those. But it's pretty cool. Logan, Best Adapted Screenplay. And I think I have it right here. Got my 4K version right here. Whoop. Yeah. So yeah, that legitimizes my thoughts that was one of the best movies of 2017. So yeah, what do you think about that?
No, I'm totally with you. I think it definitely deserves it. It probably deserves more nominations, but we're comic book fans, so we're a little biased. But it was definitely a powerful portrayal of that film. So I think they did a good job with it. I'm happy for them. Hopefully this just leads to more. I don't know. Some comic book films you can just tell they're just not like, maybe they'll get best CGI or best special effects, something like that. But
yeah,
to have it be something a little bit more legitimate, it's very cool.
Yeah, it really helps, like you said, legitimate. It helps legitimize the genre and kind of tells everyone else that we got to keep stepping our game up and keep pushing forward, keep trying new things. So that's cool. My first thought on it was, and I gotta kind of read more about what exactly adapted screenplay is. But my first thought was this was like a completely new story. So what were they adapting? It wasn't like a comic, a story arc that they adapted.
Yeah, or how loosely that term really fits,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's awesome, but just kind of an interesting category as far as I understand it right now for it to have been nominated for. But everyone agrees with us. Logan, Oscar worthy. Logan was Oscar worthy. Yep, exactly. So there we go. I hope it wins a Grammy too.
Right.
So, all right. So Black Panther this week came on the tracking boards, and it's projected right now. They're looking at now. This is for domestic opening weekend, 100 to 120 million. That's pretty good. Yeah, and last time I checked, I don't know, I haven't checked it maybe in a week or so, but it's been outpacing pre-sale wise all of the other Marvel movies.
Oof.
In pre-sales, yeah, ticket pre-sales.
That's crazy.
So based on the time frame, the importance of the movie kind of positioning itself as the last thing before Infinity War, and not only that, but just in my opinion, how awesome the movie looks, the soundtrack, the casting, it's Black Panther. It's got a lot going for it. In terms of it doing really, really well. It's a Marvel movie at the end of the day.
Right.
But as we do here on the show, we're going to do some predictions here. So what do you think in the chat? Let me know. I'm going to write them down. And then later on, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll add it to the list if you're listening to this after we're done being live here. Jason Smith. Yeah.
Really high. Shooting for the stars, Jason Smith is.
That's right. So Jason, let me know if that's a legit estimate. Okay, 150. Okay, 150.
J-Rod Hands at 119.
Sweet.
Comically Flawed said he is going to shoot high and go 136.
136. Okay.
Big E's Comics is here. What's going on, Big E's? How's it going, buddy?
NES. What's up, Big? NES. Got 123. What are you thinking on the movie? You agree it's got a lot going for it in his favor, right? I mean, it's no real competition that I can think of.
February, right?
Yeah.
February what?
February.
Is it the 14th? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it Valentine's Day weekend? That's my question.
Jeez.
I'm going to look. Hold on. I'm going to look at it.
Big E says 100 million. Okay. Gomez 125. Oh, 14th. Yeah. Big E said it.
Man, okay. Being released. All right, think about this, guys. It's being released on Valentine's weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big push to get her to go see that movie on Valentine's weekend.
Can you look up what else opens up?
Yeah.
That weekend or like even the weekend before? Just look up February movie releases. Because I don't know. I can't think of anything big. Like May is like dense with movies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But 180 for Caddy King. Okay. Got a good range here. Anywhere from 100 to 180 million are the people's estimates.
Okay, we may be okay. It says Friday, February 16th. Black Panther, Early Man, The Monkey King 3, Samson, Monster Hunt 2, Nostalgia, Poop. There's a movie called Poop Talk, The Party, and Loveless. So no competition whatsoever at all.
There you go.
It's going to blow it away that weekend. I will say
all the other studios said, let's steer clear of that. And we're not going to try that again. All right.
Man, because of that, because there's nothing else. There's nothing else that weekend. It's the first Marvel movie in a while. 125. I'll go 125.
125? Okay, cool.
I'll exceed expectations.
Yeah. All right. And nobody said 130. So I'm going 130. I'm going 130.
And we will get with Chris and Edwin and find out their predictions.
Yep. And if you guys leave some comments afterwards, I'll add them to this list here. So I got them all written down. Cool. So once that comes out, I guess we'll be talking towards the end of February about who was closest.
Yep.
So very good. Now, talk to us about Cosmic Ghost Rider. What's your
Cosmic.
take on it? Reveal, like the build up, Donny Cates, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good read. I just feel like once the reveal of who the character was, everybody, it feels like there was a collective like internet. Aw, you know.
Yeah. Right, really. It's like, really?
It turns out Cosmic Ghost Rider, if you don't know, is Frank Castle. It's the Punisher turned into a Ghost Rider in the future. Who knows? Somehow, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's they're being honest with that, or you think that's
I don't know. I mean, he said his name was Frank Castle, so
yeah,
that was the words in his speech bubble. So I mean, who knows? It could be a ploy. But it would be something weird to throw at Thanos, who probably really doesn't know who Frank Castle is anyway. You know?
Well, why would he?
Why would you tell him
small potatoes?
Unless you're gonna like brag about being somebody that you're not. So I don't know. It was all right. It wasn't. I would have preferred it just to be some character that no one had ever heard of, or doesn't even need a name. It's just Cosmic Ghost Rider. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, love it or hate it, those books are on fire.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, it's been
13,
a good series.
14, 15, right? They're up to 15?
Yeah, 13, 14, and 15.
Yeah. Those books are great. If you can find those at your shop and you don't really want to hang on to them, go ahead and list them. Make yourself a couple bucks.
Yep.
So, yeah. But good luck finding, what is it, 13? I think that one's pretty much...
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 13. Yeah, that one you cannot find now.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Especially there was a 1 in 25 ratio on that one. That was one that that's getting some big bucks these days.
Jeez.
So yeah, all right. So we'll see what that happens with that story. But as it stands right now, it's a little. They didn't stick the landing on it, type of thing. So.
No, I mean they made it cool. So we have a first appearance and everything, but now it just sets the precedence of. Now everybody's just waiting for whatever to happen. Apparently, the Punisher dies at some point or something and becomes a Ghost Rider. Nobody has to die to do it. But so the Punisher is War Machine and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
All right.
So like War Machine with a flaming helmet. That would be pretty cool, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it,
that would be cool.
That would be pretty sweet. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you read Legion this week.
I did.
What'd you think of it?
I did not enjoy it.
It
was, I mean, no, there was really not a whole lot to enjoy in this book at all. It's one of his personalities is maybe loose, or maybe he's just imagining that it's loose. Who knows?
Okay.
And so the whole thing is him just trying to get to like a psychiatrist to get help.
Okay.
Realistically. I don't know. I don't know what they were kind of going for. Maybe they were just trying to cash in on maybe the TV show or something, what they were going for here, but
probably
the art wasn't amazing. The story wasn't that great. The dialogue wasn't there for me. I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 2.
Yikes.
Yeah. It was just not good to me.
2 out of 10, right? Or 2 out of 5?
I'll go 2 out of 5. I'll go 2 out of 5.
Okay, I was like, that's pretty harsh.
I'll
2
be
out,
nice
2 out of 10. Dang.
So below average.
Okay. So don't pick it up. Wait for it to be in the dollar bin, or don't even bother with the dollar bin copy.
As far as like if you're just an X-Men fan and you want to have like all X-Men stuff that's related to any X-Men story ever, you can still just skip this one completely.
Okay.
It's only Legion, and I don't see that the psychiatrist is going to play a big role after this series, and this is by far going to be a quick miniseries.
Okay. Excuse me. Comically Flawed said, God, that was about to cough. I don't want to hurt your ears. Frank Castle becomes every character in the Marvel universe. That's pretty funny. They'd have like Edge of Castleverse or something.
I mean, the coolest though is still like Sheriff Strange.
Yeah.
From Secret Wars.
That was cool.
Because it was like Punisher and Doctor Strange combined.
There was a couple of really cool characters. There was a Ghost Rider, I think, and he had like a big chopper. What was the what was the book?
We
I'd
need
have to I'd have to dig it out. It's been a while since I read them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, before I get into Raven, I just got this. I went to a toy show past weekend. It was called the Super Toy Show. And it was just, they had one person with some comics, which was pretty cool. But the rest of it was all G.I. Joe's, like G1 through the end of the series for the like, G.I. Joe. They had the 4-inch ones, the big like original ones. Tons of Star Wars stuff, like 12 back, things in the cases. They had a lot of really cool toys. A lot of for G.I. Joe, pretty much everything except the USS Flag. Like they had all the planes and the vehicles. They had the Viper pit. They had it was cool. And the reason they kind of were really heavy on G.I. Joe, they had what's his name? Bob Prupus and Ron Rudat, who were two of the execs. Ron Rudat is the one who basically drew and designed all of the G.I. Joes, and they were featured on the Toys That Made Us.
Nice.
So that was cool. They were there, and they so it was a really heavy focus on G.I. Joe. But I was able to find, I've been looking for this. X-23. It's a Toy Biz. If you can see it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so I got that. Like $10. It's out of the box, but whatever. Get to have fun with it.
Right.
Pose it around. And what's really cool is on her feet, you see the claws?
Nice.
They go in.
Oh, very cool.
They go in.
That's nice.
So I got her sitting over here in Popster Harley.
Nice.
So yeah, that was cool. Found that. But I read Raven, Daughter of Darkness. And I kind of touched on it before. I really think the only reason they came out with this book is because it was part of the deal to get that story from Marv Wolfman for Action 1000. Because he was the one who was hanging on to the issue. So it's a 12-part mini. There we go. Set her up again. 12-part mini. There's a couple covers. I went for this one. This is probably, honestly, the only redeeming quality about this book. I hate to say it. It's this Bill Sienkiewicz cover. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice. Kind of reminds me of like stained glass. It's very Bill Sienkiewicz-y, if that's a word. I just made it a word. Yeah. But it's $3.99, which is good. It feels kind of thick for $3.99, but I don't know. I don't like the paper quality on it. It just feels a little flimsy for me. I don't know. But that's where the compliments stop. At the cover. Kind of jump into kind of her life at two different points. One is with a lab, and there's somebody who escapes. Like all these people are chasing and shooting. And then you got somebody at Winter's Gate Manor talking to a leopard. And then there's also her like hanging out, like she came and she's living with her aunt, and she's doing like, the high school thing. You go to the beach and hang out there, have a couple of drinks with your friends, sit around with a fire pit type of thing. And that's pretty much it for this issue. And then you get into it ends up being that you find out who they're chasing, and it is Azar. And there's all these like demons who are looking for her right here. They're like, Daughter of Darkness, we want you. Shit. Right there. You can see them on the bottom. And then you get a big reveal at the end about somebody with a weird face. Right there.
She casts illusions.
That's Azar.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this, she's like, this isn't real. It's in my head.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of like making her own illusions. But I really, going into this, honestly, I didn't know a whole lot about Raven, other than like, like the TV show and stuff.
Right.
Or what I've read in like Teen Titans, that type of thing. But I didn't really know much about her backstory. And coming out of this issue, I'm really not compelled to learn much more about her. Just based on, this issue alone. I really feel like whatever this story is, I don't really know where it's going. But I don't know how they're going to kind of get 12 issues out of whatever this is. Really wasn't a fan.
Oh no, did you freeze? Think you froze. Or I froze. Who knows? I didn't like this issue either. I read it and I think we just froze, but I don't know. We'll just keep going here. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I didn't dig this issue because the dialogue wasn't good. It seemed to go off the old, like, oh, it's a Raven story. So the only thing we can do is tell a story about her worrying about who her daddy is. So we've heard that story. We've seen that episode of Teen Titans several times. Give us something new. Also, like, how old is she supposed to be? I thought she wasn't in high school anymore or something. This seemed like she was like in high school again. I don't know what's going on. We can hear me, but we can't see me. I'm cosmic. I think Jesse dropped. Hold on. Comic the Flawed is communicating me through the cosmos. Okay. Can you actually see me? I don't even think you guys can see me. Whatever. What are our other comment? Hold on. Logan, Cosmic Ghost Rider, book review. Oh, that was the end. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Did we end? No, I'm still here somehow. Am I still here somehow? Now we can see me. This is hilarious. But yes, Raven, don't pick that up, guys. Don't waste your money on that book. Also, Legion, do not waste your money on that book. You're welcome. We just saved you $7 to $8. Stay away. If you liked Raven in, say, any of the Teen Titans shows or anytime before New 52, you won't like this issue. If you liked Raven in New 52, this is a different character now also.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Jesse's back.
Had a connectivity issue.
Okay.
And it wouldn't let me back on. But yeah, so I'm just telling folks to go ahead and avoid it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying, we're hoping to save you $7 to $8 this week on these two book reviews there.
That's right. All right, cool. But you know what? This is a cool cover. I will say that about the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the best thing about it, I'm a Bill Sienkiewicz fan, so yeah. Cool. So that's it, guys. We're getting up to the top of the hour here, right about 1 hour in. Thanks for joining us from this spontaneous 7.1 episode. Next week, we will be back, guaranteed, on Thursday, and we'll probably be rolling 4 deep instead of half the team on board. But this was fun. This was cool. Random show. We might, who knows, do some more randomness.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody for showing up. Definitely. A lot of people showed up. It was really cool.
Yeah. Surprised, when it's planned, people know, but when it's random, it's like, hey, whoever's happens to not be doing anything with their lives at that time.
Yeah.
So thanks guys for joining us. Go ahead and if you're watching this later, leave us some comments on your predictions, as well as what you thought of these 2 books. Tell us you agree with us or tell us how wrong we are. Either way, we'd like to hear it. We'll continue the conversation down there in the comments. And as always, as Chris says, buy a back issue. I don't think he said that in a while.
No, he's on the throw it in the trash thing right now.
That's true. But since you're saving money on these 2 issues, you have a couple extra bucks to go buy a back issue.
Chris would say that both of those issues would be thrown in the trash. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or if we were Undisputed Frost, we'd take it out back and go ahead and punch a few holes in it with a Beretta.
Right.
So, yeah. So, all right, guys, that's it. This is Common Conversation, episode 70.1. Have a great weekend, and thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.